I lead a much simpler life. WASP, Puritan family, there's not as nearly as much drama in my life except what I create for myself. So this is one of those stories. Thanksgiving was the holiday in my family, and it only started 2 days ahead of time, not months, but in order to make the 5 different kinds of pie, and the mounds of mashed potatoes, and the squash, and everything that entailed, my mother would begin. But with 4 little kids of her own, she would get us busy, and we would make the pilgrim hats, and the homemade placemats, and everyone would have their own place card, and we would have the fruit and vegetables in the centerpiece all looking like little turkeys, and the salad was in the shape of bunnies with carrot whiskers. I mean, we worked wicked hard. So you may think with all, and the turkey, she started it the night before at 10 o'clock, cooking at 125 degrees for 15 hours, getting up at midnight, 2 and 4 and 6 to baste it. Now with all of this, you might think that the turkey was the centerpiece of the Thanksgiving dinner, but I am here to tell you that no, it is the stuffing. The stuffing, which is just not plain old stuffing, but has nuts and raisins, because we were a New England family, nuts and raisins, and apples, and apricots, and sausage, and bourbon. And you needed to make so much stuffing, it just couldn't, fit there in the turkey, so we had a stuffing bowl that only came out once a year at Thanksgiving. And I coveted that bowl. In fact, when my mother went around to all 4 kids as she was aging and said, "What do you each want?" I wanted the stuffing bowl. And sure enough, one day it became mine, as did Thanksgiving. And I had 4 little ones of my own, and I understood why you had crafts at Thanksgiving. The more, the better, because everyone wants to help. So the more complicated the craft, the more chance I had to make the 5 pies. So this one year, I got the best craft idea. Tie-dyed t-shirts. I got a bag of 1,000 rubber bands, and I gave them each 3 shirts, extra large, large, medium, and they each got 200 rubber bands to wrap around 3 t-shirts. We got 12 boxes of Ritz Dye Royal Purple number 12, and we filled the kitchen sink and poured it all in, but there wasn't enough room in the kitchen sink for all those t-shirts. We needed a wicked big bowl. We had the stuffing bowl. So we put the extra 6 boxes of Ritz Dye Royal Purple number 12 in the clay stuffing bowl. I didn't know. And we made these beautiful royal purple t-shirts. And I had 4 children with purple hands and matching t-shirts. And the next morning, matching stuffing. Have you ever seen a purple apricot? It's not pretty. But you can't have Thanksgiving without the stuffing. I mean, who would ever come back? But then my biggest problem is I'm going to kill them all because I was going to serve it. So there I noticed on the top of the newspaper, did you ever notice on Thanksgiving morning at the top of the newspaper there's always poison control hotline? I always thought, what's that for? What fool doesn't know how to cook a turkey, Little did I know. Poison control, happy Thanksgiving. Well, how do you explain Ritz Dye Royal Purple number 12 in your stuffing? Well, when they stopped laughing, they finally said, you can serve it. It's not going to taste great, but it's not going to kill anybody. And I thought, all right, what I need now is a really good story. And we got one. We got one that had to do with Puritans, Pilgrims, grapes, authentic stuffing from the period. It had more what do they say, more truth than true in it, as any good story does. And the rest I swore to secrecy with those 4 children with purple hands and purple shirts that matched the stuffing, but nobody ever knew.